Not only am I going to give you the most profitable gig app combinations to use in 2025, I really want to map out your entire day. So start to finish, which is the best gig app and niche to use? Which one or ones might be a good supplement? Which ones should you not waste your time with so you can make as much money as possible depending exactly when you're free? Starting your day, number one, early AM. Here's what I would do. And this is different than just going online with one of these gig apps. Early AM, because it's going to be slower with some of these gig apps. Instead, I will look for any scheduled work first for that day. Are there scheduled shifts that are attractive? Are there scheduled single offers or trips that are attractive? Yes, you can just go online with rideshare, food delivery, parcel, a shopping app, something like that. But most all of those, it's going to send you a one-off assignment or offer. If you can nail down a 2, 3, 4 hour or more shift or routes, cluster of offers, whatever, then you're set and you don't have to play the guessing game of a gig app. Some examples though. So if I want to do routed delivery, I'm going to look at Dispatch. I'm going to look at Freight. I'm going to look at DoorDash, Dashlink. I'm going to look at possibly Walmart Spark. Granted, I got to possibly be, close to a store to start there. I'm going to look at GoShare. I'm going to look at medical courier listings on cbdriver.com. For scheduled offers, I'm going to look at scheduled rideshare rides on Uber and Lyft. There's airport runs, but I'm also going to look at any scheduled catering runs or maybe even food delivery runs. I'm using Deliver That, Delivered, Zifty, Skipcart to see if I can grab a high-paying catering offer that's instantly gonna pay me more in that hour. It's gonna pay me more per offer than, let's say, food delivery. On shift work, I don't think this is talked about a lot. On shift work, most likely I'm not gonna have to use the vehicle. This is not routed work. Routed work, I'm using my vehicle, I'm making deliveries typically, right? Or even maybe, I don't know, routed rideshare. I don't know if they have that. But scheduled shift work, I'm gonna work, whatever. I'm gonna work at Quick for the hospitality shifts, Bacon work. I'm working for Winolo, Upwork, Blue Crew, GigSmart, WorkWhile. If you're in between jobs, let's say, and or you just don't want to do rideshare, food delivery, I'm guessing I have to just work on individual apps. I want more predictability. Look at those apps and grab a scheduled shift early in the morning, and then you're set. But that is scheduled work though, routes, offers, and or shifts. So what can you do in the AM that is not scheduled work? So let's think about this. Early AM, there is always a staple of early airport runs on Uber and Lyft. Why is that attractive? Yes, it's competitive, right? Because drivers have been doing this for years, but still, even so, there's a percent of drivers who aren't going to be up that early to take those early airport runs. Maybe you don't want to do rideshare though. Think about delivery in general. What is open for delivery? It's going to be breakfast spots on food delivery. Parcel and package, I wouldn't necessarily lean into that, especially on the early AM. That's probably going to be slower. What about if you're at home though? Like I don't have access to a vehicle. I just can't use a vehicle side hustle. What should I do in the early AM? The first thing I would do is open up your computer, mobile device, whatever, and try to qualify for research studies. User testing you can do. Respondent, you can try to qualify for some of those. If you're building a gig business with a platform like Rover, Wag, dog sitting, pet sitting, walking. If you're providing contractor work, cleaning, general handyman services, repair work, etc., all of those kind of set your own rates. Toro, listing your vehicle, hire car, flipping items, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Amazon FBA. Then the first thing I'd want you to do in that kind of stuff is just respond to your clients. Look at your listings and or profile. Is there anything you need to tweak, add? Look at your analytics. If any of those platforms give you access to impressions, views, what engagement, anything like that, if they give you analytics, and respond to, in essence, your warm leads, potential customers, people who are reaching out. Also, by the way, that reminds me, do some outreach if you can as well. Sending out messages, thinking about marketing, building your business. If you're doing content creation, you should be mapping out the content for that day. Ideally, I would do it at the start of your week. But if you're doing any of those contractor gigs where you are in essence running your own business, they're providing the platform and some of those leads, some of those clients, your early AM, first thing, responding to emails, responding to messages, looking at analytics, and trying to convert some sales, some leads to scheduled work. And still, I'll tell you, if you're doing any of those platforms where you set your own rates, listen, you're basically 2 steps away from running your own business anyway. So I would encourage you, once you kind of get the bones of the business, customer service, providing the service, do your own research on the cost and challenges and hurdles of just starting your own business. Now let's move into the afternoon, the midday here, kind of what I'm calling the live phase period here, because this is when you're going to be doing the majority of your field work. Field work, just being out and about in your marketplace, if you're going to use, obviously, a gig app that requires that. Now, this is wide reaching. If we're thinking about gig apps, anything, grocery, shopping, parcel, rideshare, all of that stuff. This is the later part of the morning into the afternoon, early evening, arguably the busiest time for these businesses. You just have to think, we're speaking on the macro here at large. What day is it? What marketplace am I in? Where am I in that marketplace? Am I in the city? Am I in the suburbs? Is it 11 a.m. that can perform differently than 3:30 p.m.? What is the busiest thing of all of these gig apps? Because it's free to sign up. You can try different things. What is the best thing for me to use at this time? Now, you can multi-app, like I call it, driving or working for different platforms at the same time and selecting the best assignment or offer for you. That's fantastic, but you can take even more of the guesswork out of it if you already have an idea of, hey, catering is busy, because literally the catering apps tell you it's busiest from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's a higher chance to get a catering offer, so I should be online, especially, you can be online outside of these hours, but especially from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Conversely, food delivery kind of tapers off maybe from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Kind of that in between of lunch and dinner. So I can still be online, but I'm focusing on other things that might get me better offers, more orders to choose from, and higher pay. Regardless, what not to do is don't waste your time with any gig app where you think you're making progress, but what you're actually doing is just staying busy. Staying busy doesn't mean you're actually moving forward and making profit and money. Survey platforms that are a waste of time, digital rewards programs where you have to do something and you get a digital reward and then you redeem it. Don't sink in too many hours doing that stuff. I mean, you can try it. In fact, just reference our free side hustle rankings guide for 2025. It's linked down below to get a framework here of what to do and maybe what not to do. And by the way, I don't care if that's like a top 10 most popular large gig app. If it's not working for your marketplace, I wouldn't use it. I mean, some of them, if it's a top 10 large popular side hustle, you can keep it on your phone. Like, don't delete it because it might change, but don't just keep working on the platform. I would give it a couple of weeks and then maybe pause, try a month and a half later because there's seasonality as well. Pause and then try it, but don't just keep doing it if you're making $13, $14 an hour. Now we're moving in to the evening, the later PM hours here. We can think about this as like maybe after work hours if you're working 9 to 5, and this is when you're free. What should you do and what's the best combination of apps? But again, this still comes down to time of day, also considering that seasonality, day of the week, because generally I'd say maybe food delivery is busier, right? Where it was slower in that, whatever that in-between time was. Now it's the time to pick up post-work dinner rush, or even rideshare, kind of post-work events, traveling to different places, going out for the evening. Things that might slow down: grocery shopping platforms, Shipt, Instacart, Dumpling, if you have Dumpling grocery delivery clients, things like that, because those might be kind of Sunday afternoon deliveries, weekend deliveries, because if you're doing grocery shopping, typically the customer needs to be home, or at least home within a decent amount of time if the groceries are going to sit on the front porch to accept that delivery. So they're not going to be able to accept it during work hours and possibly into some of these hours. Well, Mike, I'm only free really late at night, let's say, or you're free overnights. That's just how your schedule is. What might work for the later PM shifts into overnight? Something I haven't really mentioned yet in this video that I think is an excellent opportunity in 2025 is the medical courier space. Did you know medical courier can be routed deliveries? So I have my routes, I have predictability of earnings, no gamification of I have to do this, I have to do that. Hopefully there's bonus pay. I have a route and predictable pay. Yes, medical courier also has sometimes, not always, check on the platform, check on what's being offered in your marketplace, overnight routes as well. No traffic, work at your own pace here. Now, you'll have to, like anything else with routed delivery, what's the pay for the mileage? I want you to have at least $1.75 paid out per mile, and also consider driving back home. Some of those medical courier routes I've seen are quite far away. So think about that. It could pay $1.85 a mile, but is that the route? Where is it going? I still, again, have to come back home. Medical courier, you can check medicalcourier.com, MedZoomer, CB Driver, Lab Logistics, and others. Other later evening opportunities, there is rideshare, like the Bar Crowd, which I did for years, 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. a lot of times, especially on the weekends. That is kind of its own challenge, driving passengers will say, in that niche, I guess, from 10 p.m., 4 a.m. and the like. But there can be good money there if you're willing to do that. If you don't want to do, let's say, though, field work, being out in your marketplace, let's say after 10 p.m., make it cyclical. Like come back home, focus on at-home side hustles, or building your business, or mapping out your content creation. You filmed, now maybe you edit in the evening to start and grow your content creation monetization. Look for scheduled shift work, scheduled offers, scheduled routes for the next day. And there you go. There's a complete suite from your early AM until nights and overnights, different apps, different niche ideas, field work, at-home work, building a business, monetizing, content creation. The thing you'll need to target, though, that's most important for you is when are you free? What do you want to do? How is the earnings potential on the app, platform, or the business idea that you have? And do what works for you.